Jeffrey is nearly always at home. He consumes a lot of social media, plays a lot of video games every single day. He's fat, not really motivated, and his life is not really that fulfilling, and he's just a really weak man. Adonis is really motivated. He follows his purpose, chases his goals, and goes to sleep really early in the night and wakes up early in the morning, that he's just focused and motivated to go after his goals he has. He uses his energy really wisely and doesn't consume any social media. Instead of consuming social media, he looks at himself, at his life, what's good, what isn't good, what he would like to change, and he just plays the real life game because video games are just boring for him. The real life is this was really driving him on. I remember when I was doing all of the 6 bad habits daily, every single day, week for week, and my life wasn't really that good. Imagine you're waking up and the first thing you're doing is just checking your phone because you think you're missing out on something when you don't instantly check your phone in the morning as the first thing you do. Like, this is the biggest priority in life, but it's absolutely not. It's just so a waste of time, how I found out later. And then I make myself fast ready to go to work or to school, and when I was on the train station I smoked the first time and then was just on social media, on my phone, writing with people all day long. I was between 6 to 8 hours a day on my phone on a normal day. On the weekend it was a little bit less because I just played video games the whole weekend, so I didn't really use my phone this much. And when I came home after work, I just played video games for the next few hours and then smoked weed, watched YouTube, and before bed I watched pornos, fapped, and then again watched YouTube until I fell into sleep, because when I didn't watch YouTube, so many bad talks came up that I couldn't sleep, that were just destroying me, so I distracted myself with YouTube until I was enough tired to really fall asleep. But with all of this blue light and so on, I couldn't really sleep before 1 a.m. in the morning, and at 6 a.m. most of the times I needed to wake up. At this time I just really felt like I'm in a film. I'm just watching myself, how I play a character. I don't have any control over myself, what is happening, what I should do. I'm just living this life and watching myself how I do it, and thinking so many times like, no, and just hated my life at this point. And it was so terrible to feel like I have no control over what I'm really doing and what is happening to me. I made it out of there with that I stopped doing one after another of these bad habits and just quitted them and changed them into a good way. I just constantly found out again and again and again how much better my life is without or with changed these few habits. The first bad habit is how you use your phone. Most people just use it to be on social media all of the time, texting with thousands of people, and then also what's just the next point, what also goes in this point, is porns. And yeah, TikTok and Instagram is nowadays just soft porns. You can do whatever you want, but on the recommend page or when you have reels and so, it doesn't really matter what you do, which accounts you follow, and so you always will get some soft porn clips between it. Why does social media, your phone, pornography destroy your brain? Because it's just unrealistic and it overstimulates your brain so that it slowly kills your brain. TikTok is the worst from everything. What's also a big point, it just takes so much time from you. Just when you are only 5 minutes on it, yeah, alright, 5 minutes is acceptable, but most of the time you can't be just 5 minutes on there. Then you start, then it's like half an hour, and you realize, so, I'm doing this quite a long time, but you don't stop, and then another half an hour is gone, and this 2, 3, 4 times a day takes so much time away what you could do else with it, and also you always lose your focus when you just consume it really short, because your brain afterwards need to process it through, so that's why it so overstimulates you. But Jeffrey tells you, yeah, but I like to do it and really it fulfills me. Yeah, because your life is just shit and you don't have anything else that really fulfills you more than consuming this shit, this crap. And it's actually also made this way that you feel like, yeah, that this fulfills you, and it's made this way that you get a good feeling for it, because otherwise people wouldn't use it in such a big consume how it is in today's age. The next thing is alcohol, smoking cigarettes, smoking weed. They are really obvious in the first place, because you already know like these are drugs, they don't really are good for you, they can give you cancer and many other bad things, so you should already like see this is bad. Also, when your friends are telling you, yeah, come, let's go to a party and drink so much, and yeah, it will be fun and so on, it just destroys you. Like, do you really want to destroy yourself through these things? And also, it takes so much time from you that you could use so much better. It kills your energy and your momentum to really build up something. For that, you need momentum. You can't just drink so much every weekend that you forget what you were doing and just be like a brain dead person. You will not come further so in life, because your friends are telling you, yeah, it's fun to drink and to smoke, and yeah, it isn't that bad when we do it from time to time. Yeah, but from time to time it will get more and more and more. You will do it more often. It will get common, especially with smoking, and yeah, then consumes way much more time. And really look at your friends, where they are. Are they like there where you actually want to be? Like being a really successful man that just lives up to his full potential in life? Or are they more like in a job they don't especially really like, and just drinking and consuming nicotine and so on to just shut down their brain because they want to look at it, at this life who they don't really like, because it isn't that great. Jeffrey says, yeah, but like this and that successful man also does this. Yeah, he does this from time to time to enjoy it, because he's already there, he is at the top, but you are down here. So it's not acceptable for you when you want to get up here. Yeah, it's much big of a difference, but that you can see it. Just from down here to get up to here, like you need to do so much more. And when you do these bad habits, it will take so much longer, and it will be so much harder than when you quit them. Be strong so you can get much faster up here, and to learn to deal with this consume, that you really enjoy it in a good way, and that's not consume that you just consuming it to shut down your brain. The next thing is video games. Yeah, like also social media, it really overstimulates you, takes so much time from you away, and it brains in your subconsciousness that life is so difficult because it's so much easier to level up in the game than in real life. And Jeffrey says, but I train my reaction time when I play video games. Yeah, this is true, but look at the time you spend with playing video games and what it actually increases your reaction time. It's a small of bit, and the normal reaction time we have as a normal person is more than enough, and there are much better ways to really improve your reaction time, because you play hours of hours video games and you increase it by a little bit, so you lose more time than you actually gain. And where do you really need a much better reaction time in normal day-to-day situations? Yeah, when you are fighting as well, but then you are fighting, training when you are fight, and there you also train your reaction time, but in a much more better and successful way for actually this purpose. The next point is to have a really bad sleeping rhythms, not getting enough of sleep, changing them all the time, sleeping other through the week to on the weekend, just fucking them up over and over again. Why this is bad for you is You won't really recognize it at the first moment, but when you know how the difference is and you really have something to go forward, you want to have all of your resources from your body and your mind available for that, and for that it's just necessary to have a constant sleeping rhythms and not change them all the time, because you just lose that resources from your body and your mind that you could actually use much more. If you say now, but yeah, I can do all the things I really want to do right now, so yeah, you can do that, because how I thought before, you don't really have something that you need all of your resources that you really have to optimize them to come faster forward in life how you would like to. And probably you won't even have it right out to have a constant sleeping rhythms for a really long time, for a few months for example, and don't know how the difference even is. The last thing is to have a really bad nutrition, because it also really limits your resources that you have available. You have so much more potential in you when you have like a decent nutrition. You don't need a really perfect nutrition, yeah, you can go for that, but just to cut out any junk food, don't eat so much sweet things. This will drastically improve already how you feel, how much focus you have, how much clearance you have, how much energy you have, how you will sleep and everything, and it just improves all a bit, and it's just such a big component of all. And yeah, you don't need to have a plan what you exactly need, what you don't eat, and so just look at it, and most of the time when you are being honest to you, you already know if this is good or if this isn't good. And when you don't know, eat it and look how you feel after it, because the feelings will tell you how you feel, how much energy and so on you will have. And when you have less energy than before, for when you just eat the small bit, just when it's like some chips or just some chocolate, this drains your energy and it's just nice in the moment, but actually it doesn't really gives you anything. It's just also like social media, this instant gratification you get from that. When you now feel attacked or bad, then this really shows you that there is some truth behind of that, and that you should consider starting with one or another habit to change this slowly. Pick one out and try to improve it. Start with one of the first habits I told you, because like sleep or a bad nutrition is just something that isn't really easy to change, and it's much more easier to change the first few things, and because then you naturally get like this urge inside of you that you also want to change these few other things to get more potential from you and not limit yourself this much anymore. However, everything it takes is time to really improve this and be consistent in it, that you don't go back to the bad habits again. So just start to prove yourself that you don't need these bad habits, and they are really bad habits for you, that you really need to change them because you feel better when you don't do them, or if you do them in a good way, how you should do this, how we humans are born to do it for. If you were able to stop with one bad habit or change it just for like at least a month, then I would start implementing the next one and stop quitting with that, because when you just were able to quit like smoking for a week, this isn't really sustainable. And when you then try to start with another one, don't have the focus really clear on that anymore, it's so easy to just fall back in these bad habits and do them again, and then you're like at zero again and need to start all over again and again. And what's also really important, when you don't smoke for a week and then you just can't resist and smoke one cigarette after a week, just then remember yourself that this isn't the way how you want to go, that you don't see yourself anymore as a smoker, and then just throw them away. Don't have any opportunities that you really can take them anymore, and start again over, because so you can also prove to yourself that this isn't good and that you feel bad after it again when you're smoked after a week, when you stop from it. The first few steps until the wheel starts to roll are just always the hardest. Like quitting with something, the first 1-2 weeks are the hardest, and then you just need to push through it for a bit of a longer time, and then you have such change in your brain that you don't see yourself anymore as such of a person, and you don't have this big urge in you that you really want to do it. Like with smoking, when you are stressed, your brain always tells you, yeah, I should need to smoke again, that I can relax. And through that, you just lower these connections in your brain that they don't activate this hard anymore. And the longer you quit, the less they will be existing.